What is up, takers? It is episode 19. How are you? What's up, Lay? What's popping?
Hi, what's going on? It's been forever. It's been forever.
Look,
you.
I miss you too. I feel like I haven't seen you forever. This virtual stuff it's not where it's at.
It's not. We need to change that. But I'm happy we're here today.
Yes, I am super excited. As always, we have a very packed show. Lay, what's been going on in your world outside of working?
That is my world. My world is work, and work is my world, and that's pretty much it. You know, tinkles of fun. Some concerts coming up, but
there's going to be a lot of stuff happening as we get closer to Halloween. So we'll be sure to have some events for this weekend posted up on our website. I got a chance to go see the Four Tops and the Temptations, and
let me love
that. So the Four Tops, it's the Four Tops, but the Temptations, and let me tell you, Jawan Jackson, who is actually from Detroit, he's like the newest member, and that man can sing. It was so fun.
Okay, wait. What songs did they sing? Did they sing "This Is My Promise to You"? Did they sing that?
Girl, I don't know the names of the songs. We talked about it. I know my girl. Look, I'm trying to expand my music knowledge, and then I'm also super excited. I didn't get a chance to tell you yet, but this weekend I am actually going to be going to, or no, maybe it's next weekend. My weekends are all over the place. But the Chicago broadcasters, they have a conference coming up, so hopefully we can spread the word about Ty and Layy.
Are you going?
Yes, I am. It's going to be a 2-day conference. So I'm going to get to network with some of Chicago's baddest broadcasters in TV and radio.
Oh, that's exciting. And
Lay, I'm telling you, you can ask Jazz. I asked if they needed somebody because you were going to go with me, and I couldn't get you in, but I tried. So
it's okay as long as you're there.
And I'm gonna be promoting heavy.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. That's exciting. So wait, when is this happening?
That is the 23rd and the 24th. So I don't know, my weekends, they all blur together when all you do is work.
Yeah, that's true. But no, go spread the word. I'm excited. That's an excellent market tie. So look at you. Okay, network.
you got me.
Okay, so I think that we need to jump into our real takes because I need your take. Even though sometimes your take be jaded. But that's okay. We still love you.
It's the one that goes to the restaurant hours before the date.
You just not going to let that go, huh?
No.
You brought that up ever since I told that story. That's why I don't be telling y'all my business. That's why I'm not telling you my business. Okay, that's all right. That's all right.
Right?
Okay. It's time for our real takes where we jump right in. We do scenarios, hypothetical questions, and we get our takes and your takes. So speaking of that, make sure you guys are commenting. We want to hear from you all. So jump on the stream, comment. We respond back. We need you on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Red, everything. We want to hear from y'all because sometimes, Ty, I just need to know that I'm not crazy. Okay. And Ty will have you feeling crazy. So with that being said, Ty, do you prefer a text or a call?
Definitely text me. And it might be a delayed response on that too, because I know I didn't text you back until Lay texted me at 4 a.m. I didn't text Lay back until 5 minutes before the show. I mean, if it's an emergency, call me. But the likelihood of I'm not gonna want to sit and FaceTime, and same as if you're having a work meeting, but everything that's addressed in the meeting can be a simple email. Why are we wasting our time? I ain't got time.
Okay, so is that only in your work life, or is that also in your dating life?
My dating life, which is non-existent because I'm single on purpose. But
wrong with it.
In my dating life, I'd rather have you be laid up under me. I don't want no phone call. I don't want no FaceTime.
In person only.
Yeah.
In person or text. Okay. I'm definitely a phone call person, but I feel like you probably know that by now. Pick up the phone and call me.
You send the audio messages.
I like the audio messages. Cool. Because sometimes our text messages get so deep. I'm like, I can't text all this. I'm just going to send a voicemail. So you can go back and listen to it whenever you need to. But in a relationship, dating wise, I'll take it a step further. I'm a FaceTimer. I'll never call you. I'll only FaceTime you. Yeah, because I want to see your face. Where you at? What you doing?
So I hope you wouldn't date nobody that had an Android. But what if they didn't have an iPhone? Are you gonna like Google Me or Google Duo or whatever it's called?
I mean, nowadays all you gotta do is get an app anyway.
Facebook Messenger.
That's actually I've never dated someone with an Android. I've only ever dated anyone with a face like that. It's just funny you just pointed that out. I've only ever FaceTime people, but I just like to FaceTime because like in my current relationship, when we first started dating, you know, I was in Ohio and he was in Michigan, and I would only see him like on the weekends or like, you know what I'm saying? It was harder to see him, so like I just want to see your face, like what you doing? So I'm taking a call every time. Call me professionally, email me, don't even text me, but you could call me unless it's like some real money. You can call me when it's about money. Anything else, just text me. Okay, let's switch gears. Do you think can men and women just be friends?
Yeah.
You think
so? What'd you say?
I said you think so?
Yeah. I mean, that's like asking, can you be friends with somebody and not sleep with them? I would hope so.
I think that's the same thing.
It's not the same question.
I think friendship is built on intention. So like I think the relationship is built on intention. So I think, is it possible to call yourself someone's friend? Sure. But do I feel like this is what I've learned about men. Men will like get in the bushes for years, baby, and they'll just be waiting and waiting and waiting. And then you'll be like, me and such are having problems. You can come stay with me, or you can come over here and then they drop it on you like, well, I've been feeling you since college, girl. That's what they do. They hit you with that. So I don't know. Okay, so let me switch it because I know you're part of a different community. Do you feel like people in your community can only be friends? Like, would you be okay with like? Would you be okay? Well, I guess that's kind of hard to say. Cause okay, well, do you feel like your man could have other like male friends that he's super close to that also identify in the LGBTQ plus community, or would it be like, nah, y'all can't be? What is a friend?
I mean, I'm gonna say yeah, you can, but I feel like it starts with trust. So you shouldn't even be in a relationship with another person if there's no trust, or if there's history or past trauma that is preventing you from being able to fully trust each other. Because people in general may have different tendencies. So you might be like, this is my homie, this is my friend, and then meanwhile, all it takes is that one night where you guys are going out, having some drinks, taking shots. And then when it comes to the end of the night, it's like, hey, you want to slide? Hey, you want to come through? You want to stay the night and cuddle? So I think it's the bigger factor here is trust and knowing each other's intentions.
Okay.
Lay's face. Because I'm also trying to watch what I say to speak truthfully, but also know that any of these videos are gonna come back and resurface. Then we're on the next level. So I have to make sure, because I'm sure there are potentials out there that are trying to have their eye on Tyler. So I need to watch what I say. But at the same time, I'm being transparent with you all.
Well, okay, this is my only thing, right? I'm trying to think, because sometimes I don't think it's about trust. I can trust you and still don't want you to be friends with her. I mean, it's not about, because it's my thing. I trust my man, but that don't mean that I'm going to have a girl over in her panties and bra walking around.
No.
I don't think it's about trust. I think it's about temptation. And I think it's also about, because we're still people at the end of the day.
Yeah. Like, we still have needs. We're all humans.
And I feel like it's about access too. Like, is this a friend that you talk to all the time? Is she constantly calling you? Is it I'm waking up out of my bed because the phone is ringing and it's her? Are you talking about our personal? Like, I feel like there's a level of friendship. So I think if the friendship is making me uncomfortable, then right. So, but it's not. But just because it's making me uncomfortable, it doesn't mean that I don't trust you. I'm just uncomfortable. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? I feel like don't don't make it a problem. Because if I'm being honest, if I had a male friend that was giving me like that, my boyfriend was constantly like, okay, why is he texting you? I would just cut him off. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like it's not worth arguing with you about him, or you're not about to become a topic of conversation in my relationship when you're just supposed to be my friend. So like if you're crossing a point where my man feels uncomfortable, then something's gotta change. And I feel like if it's really your friend, they would understand that you're in a relationship and act accordingly.
There's got to be boundaries. I agree.
There's got to be boundaries.
And yeah. I like that you said, if it's making my partner uncomfortable or if I'm uncomfortable, just cut it off and remove it, because at the end of the day, that shows where you're at with your person. Exactly. There's no reason why you should put each other or yourselves into a situation that's going to be negative or unnecessary or just add a drama that doesn't need to exist.
Exactly. And if y'all that close, be together.
That part.
Go ahead and be together. Just X me out. Like, just go ahead, do what y'all need to do. Okay. So I got one more. These are my random takes today. We're doing.
And these are super random because I didn't have any idea what any of these were going to be.
Yeah, surprise. This show is surprises.
Waiting for that text message, like, we need to go back to the rundown.
We do need to go back to a rundown. But okay. This is like work life. How important is work-life balance?
Oh, we can't stress this enough. It is important because I feel like lately, the past couple of weeks, even the past couple of months, I feel like I've just been going. So many interviews to book, so many events and conferences and different things to attend. I honestly am burning the candle at both ends. There's not even a candle at this point.
Wow, no wax. It's just all burnt.
It's just when you light it and the wick is gone, so it won't even light. You need to put a new wick in there. That's where I'm at, honestly. It's just been exhausting. It's been go. I need to just take a trip to the Bahamas and turn my phone on do not disturb.
Well, see, I agree with that, but I also feel like work-life balance is more than just vacationing. Like, I feel like that is a great portion of it, knowing when you need a break, knowing when you need to relax. And sometimes a vacation doesn't have to be the Bahamas. Sometimes it's just taking 2 or 3 days off at home to get things you need to get done at home, or just go to Thanksgiving dinner, or just But I also feel like work-life balance is an everyday thing. It's also making sure that you're prioritizing your personal life, because like if you have children or you're in a relationship, like they have to be taken care of in every single day. You have to nurture that, because I really do believe that our relationships are like flowers. Like they need sunlight, they need water, they need food, and they need it every single day. Otherwise, they're gonna die. So how do you balance that and balance your work, especially in our field? Our field is very demanding, like 25/8. So it's hard to like balance, because there's been times I go without sleep. If I want to do an event with you, and then I have to work at 2 a.m, that means that I do my event and I go straight to work, and then I'm tired, or then I have to write an article, or I gotta go, or I gotta edit this, or I gotta do that. So it's hard. So I do think it's important, but I do think it's hard. It's hard to come by, because like where's the balance between I'm grinding it out, I'm hustling because I'm trying to make my dreams come true, versus like you're trying to find a balance. I think that's like, because I look at people like Beyonce, like she doesn't sleep, and look how successful she is. Like, does she really have work-life balance, or is work her life, and is that why she's successful?
That's deep.
Oh dang, that's deep. Well, I think that we should open this one up to our takers table.
Yes. And we have a very, very important person joining us today. it's been a while in the making.
Journey. Yes. Yes.
But we have reached that destination.
We finally got her.
The whole reason why Ty and Layy are together.
Yes. Yes. Would be no Ty and Layy without this lovely, 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 lovely lady. So, without further ado,
bring them out. Bring her out.
It's time to bring in our favorite producer, Bae.
Yes.
Hi, Ray. How are you?
I love y'all. I'm doing really good.
This is our lovely, lovely, lovely Rachel Simone. Hi, love.
First of all, y'all talk about it's been a long time in the making. Y'all just asked me to be on the show, y'all.
Oh, she called us
don't let them don't okay, and act like it was me. Now I did mess up last week, but I had an emergency. But
you know we just want you on the show. Don't do that. Do not do that.
I'm here now.
And we love you for that. So welcome to the Takers Table. Welcome to Ty and Lay's Takes Day. Welcome to our shenanigans. Okay, so let's just jump right in. We're doing our takes today. So the question that was on the table is, how important is work-life balance? So in our field it's crazy. Rachel is like the producer of the decade. She's always got multiple projects that she's
everywhere. She is everywhere. If y'all don't know her name, y'all are sleeping on her.
Period. That's an interesting question because I've kind of shifted from that. I mean, I'm still on my grind 100%. So for y'all that don't know me, I have a 6-year-old daughter. You know, I'm still very big on family. And when I first started in my career, it was like you said, team no sleep. I'm on set 16 hours a day, depending on the project. Like I went from literally like getting coffee, now to being a producer where I can pick and choose. But like I was on that grind. But now I just don't think anything is worth that. Like, I know that we put so much emphasis on work, and let's be clear, I love my job and I am really good at it. And I love creating stories, but like, it's more to that. And having a child and having aging parents, like y'all know my parents, but my parents are also 70, right? Let's be for real about that, right? And like my family and friends, like that has been more important to me now, like cultivating relationships with people and not just working. Like, and I'm only 35. I don't think I'm old. It's not like no midlife crisis where I'm like, oh, I have to hurry up and do whatever. But it's like, it's just literally more to life than work. And like once the strike happened and just the shift in TV in general with like COVID, it was never a point. Y'all know I come from old school news where we ever thought people would be reporting from their phones or at home or whatever. And like that shift just showed me like you can do anything at any moment and work is not going anywhere.
I'm surprised that is your take, Ray. I'm not going to lie.
A couple of years ago, I would have been grind it out, team don't sleep. Like, no, I rest. And I also realized that like sometimes the grind is rest. That's the part that we forget. I've learned to work smarter, like choosing projects that make sense, choosing projects that are going to like propel my career instead of just being like, yeah, I'm on set. Oh yeah, I'm just doing stuff like, because you do end up wasting your time. You can make some money, but it's like, are you just doing stuff to be doing it? Or are you doing stuff that's actually towards where your dream is? So we be spending a lot of time wasting just saying like, oh, I'm doing stuff instead of actually doing what we should be doing. So like when I learned to work smarter in my producing job, like, oh yeah, I'm chilling.
Well, let's talk about that because I think what you're referring to when you say picking projects and knowing exactly what you want to do, you're really speaking on your purpose and what you actually and having a plan. So how have you decided like this project is for me and this project isn't, versus being that I'm taking it all, ready to go, I'm grinding it out? How did you get to the point where you start moving with purpose and how you were moving in your career?
Being intentional and really listening to God and paying attention to what was I being actually called to. What's crazy is, and I've actually never told nobody this, well, not in an interview at least, and not many people really know this. I never once wanted to be a producer. Being a producer was never a dream of mine. growing up, I wanted to be an athletic trainer. That's what I started with school with. I wanted to work in mental health, which I still will once I, go back to school, but that's another day. Even when I started in my TV career, I was just going to host, and my dream job, sounds crazy, was to host Live in the D. That was my goal first coming out, like, because it's 2013, when I started the Rachel Simone show. I never, ever, ever, ever once thought about being a producer. But once I got into it, I was like, oh, this is the easiest thing that I can do. Producing is the easiest job for me. It comes so naturally. And so that was the flip, like, oh, this is what I should be doing. And then also realizing, like, anybody can produce for real, right? Let's, especially now in 2023, it's so much things on art and creativity. But what makes me like unique is my ability to cultivate people. And not everybody can do that. And so also realizing that was a part of my purpose too. So I kind of shifted what I'm going to be doing as far as production goes as well. And so now I can focus on projects that I really love, that I really care about, because no matter what I do, I'm gonna put my all into everything that I do. So if I'm gonna put my all into it, if I'm gonna be committed to it, then it has to be something that I care about, especially when we talk about storytelling. Yeah, people see all the fun TV shows and all of that, but I'm a storyteller first. And that's what's most important to me, is getting a good story out. And so that's what I'm doing.
I love that. Okay, Ray. With purpose, the producer with purpose. The purposeful producer.
Growing up.
Yes. So we're talking about cultivating people, right? So we gotta jump into it now. How and why? Well, this is the question. Why did you think that Tyler and I would make a good match for doing a show? How did that come about? Like, why did you?
Yes,
I
need
the whole story.
They need to know from the source.
Oh man, that's a good question. Okay, it's gonna sound crazy, y'all, but when you and your gifts, it is what it is. Like, for y'all that don't know, I teach yoga. Okay, that's my mental health space. I'm a yoga teacher. And a lot of times, because this is the whole story, because this is how I go. A lot of times in yoga spaces, a lot of people, they're empaths. They say they feel, they do that. And I definitely feel things. But for me, a lot of times, like when I see people, it's like I see their whole life literally in front of me. Like when I meet people, it's like that quick where I'm like, oh yeah, this person is good as that. This person is going to excel at this. And then I usually know right away, at least the foundation of like, oh, where do I pour into this person, right? And then as I get to know people, it just heightens, and I'm like, okay, I need to place them there and place them there. So me and Tyler met. How did we even meet? I don't even know how we met for real. We met, and I know he was already doing like his TV thing, and we had did some stuff together in the past. And then I met Lacey through her man. Okay, her man's family, or my family, literally like used to change Joanne's diapers, like for real. Little bro, like, yes, real family. And then when she expressed to me that she wanted to host, I was like, oh, I got a perfect co-host for you. It literally just clicked, like, oh yeah, they're gonna be good together. Y'all personalities, y'all foundations on how y'all just felt about journalism and wanting to tell stories. And yeah, so I just knew right away. I'm a perfect matchmaker in all areas.
I would agree. I would definitely agree. I think that Ty, we clicked automatically. Like as soon as we talked, it was like, oh, I like him. We have similar thinking. Like we split, like the way we see our show, how we want to do the show. I think that we just it was a natural click. And I would have never crossed paths with Tyler. I don't think it fit. Like we would have never crossed paths. So Rachel is that girl. Okay, she got that dog in her. Okay,
the plug. Like I realized, like one of my strongest, I'm a master connector of stuff, which makes me a good producer, because producing is just really connecting things, whatever it is, projects, events. This is just connecting the dots. And like the moment I realized that I connect people was a game changer. Like I connect people I'm talking about every space I go to. I'm like, oh yeah, I know somebody can do that. Oh yeah, I got the perfect person for you. Let me go ahead and plug that and get it connected.
I love that. Okay, so tell me, what projects are you working on now? I know you are doing some things with the Michigan Chronicle. I know, but you have your hands in so many things. It's hard for me to keep up with all your projects.
I was gonna say I can't keep up.
I can't keep up.
Friday, the Randy Rosario show.
Yes. So what are we working on that we can share? Because Rachel can keep a good secret for a long time.
For a long time.
Like,
I am resident secret keeper. That's also why people love me, because I'll be like, oh, why you tell me that? Okay. So right now I'm working on this clip show. It's like similar to Ridiculousness. It's gonna be called Only in My Hood. So we have a whole bunch of viral clips that we pulled. T-Barb is gonna be the host. And then we'll have a ton of Detroit comics coming on. It's gonna be super fun, super light. We're gonna drop it on Tubi. I'm very excited about it because one, we get to see some different projects coming out of Detroit that's gonna drop on Tubi, right? So I did Randy's show. I was producer on her show, so that was great having like that talk show. Now we get to have a clip show, and it's gonna be hilarious. We have some really, really great comics. I won't tell who the comics are that's gonna come, but if you know T Barb, like you already know, she just did her the TEDx Detroit. She dropped a book. Like I learned so much. She was actually on Finally Friday, and I learned so much about her. Like, wow, can't wait till people actually like really hear her story. She has such an amazing story, and she's just an amazing like human being overall. Like she's really dope. So that'll be dropping at the end of the year for sure. Don't know when, but hopefully at the end of the year. We're gonna have a real big watch party. It's gonna be cute. I'm also working on a feature film. It's a SAG film too, actually. It's called Reservation for Four. It is about a Black man's journey through love and relationships. So also another thing coming out of Detroit that's going to be completely different than something that we have been seeing as far as film goes. And we got some low-key some heavy hitters in this one. I can't tell y'all just yet, but it's fire. And how me and the guy met who wrote it, we literally we was at Q's Kitchen. I was just up there and we got to talking. Turns out, well, it was his girlfriend at the time, but they didn't broke up, which makes the story even better because now he's been writing through real life pain, right? Before it was just kind of like, oh, I'm telling some story now, this happened. But met his girlfriend. She won an Emmy with a director that I have been wanting to work with, right? And so just that connection, like instantly. And that was probably about 6 months ago. And so now we're here. Script is done. We've raised some money. Our goal is to start filming in November, and then it'll come out in the spring. And what else am I working on? And I'm working on a documentary too, a Gardening While Black documentary, which is going to end up turning into something completely bigger than what I thought it was. So yeah, that's. And when I direct church services, so random. I direct church services. I've just been directing live events, which I think is crazy. Y'all know, my dad was a director. Again, something I never even thought about doing that. And now I'm like, oh, I've directed several live events. So I think that's super dope.
Do you like the directing? Do you like doing that?
Love it.
You like
love it. Love it. I didn't even know. Like, wow. And I like live events. I want to do live events. It's just something different about being live and like not live to tape where you can, okay, we can start over and like all of that. Like you got to be on point when you live and whatever happens is going to happen.
Speaking of live events, Rach, you've been doing a lot with the Michigan Chronicle. So tell those that may have not checked out Finally Friday, what is your overall goal and what is it like being, involved in producing, those broadcasts for a major Black publication?
Yeah. So what's crazy is, again, another thing we talk about leaning into your purpose and just paying attention to the signs. People, we don't be paying attention because we want an end result, right? We have in our head that we want one thing. And so we're not paying attention to what's being given to us. And so we lose a lot of opportunities because we're just seeing what we want. And like, once I learned to sit still and be silent, stuff just started to come to me. So I met Andre years ago. Like we just knew each other through journalism world, right? And we had met. Cashed Out had a listening party a couple of months ago, and so we had finally met, right? We had never met in person. We were just through Facebook and Instagram and all that. And so when I saw him at the Cashed Out thing, I was like, "Oh, we gonna work together." I don't know what we gonna do, but we gonna work together. And literally like 2 weeks later, somebody had canceled on Finally Friday. And he was like, "Can you come on the show?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I came on as a guest. And when we finished the show, I was like, "Oh, I'm about to produce this." can I produce it? And he was like, yeah, I need some help. And because Andre's very much a producer as well, right? That's kind of where he started. And another secret I'm telling y'all that people didn't know, I did the show for free for like 5 months.
Wow, that's how much you believed in it.
Yeah, because everything can't. I am running a live digital TV show from a Black newspaper. History has been made. Like, I saw the vision more than anybody, for real. And this was Andre's vision, right? You know what I'm saying? This was his show. This was kind of his baby. He just needed to revamp. But as soon as I got, like, literally, as soon as we wrapped, I was like, yes, I'm about to produce a show. Are you going to let me do it? Yes or no? And he was like, yeah, of course, you can come help me. And that's just what it turned into, because again, I come from news world. I love the news. I think the news is so important. And just the history of what Black news means and what it did. You know what I'm saying? Black news started because no one would talk about us. No one would talk about us being married or going to church or just the little things that the lives we live every day. Nobody cared enough to do that. So we're repeating that same cycle, but in a 2023 way. We're still that foundation of the Black press. We're just doing it in a way that makes sense now. We all know paper, people don't be reading. I read, but I'm a nerd, right? I'm boring. I look like I will sit in my room for hours and read. So I don't be expecting people to be like me, because I will take it too far. Okay. When I was young, my punishment was going outside because I was already in my room. Like, it didn't matter. You can't sit here that I'm already here. So the show is it's an amazing show. I have amazing hosts, and again, more cultivating people, right? It's important for me to make sure that people know how good they are at what they do, right? We don't always get that. We're always being told, okay, you got to take criticism. You have to do this, you have to do that. But we have to start leaning in on people's gifts, because when people are placed in positions where they can thrive the best, everything else is just going to flow, right? So we just flow. And I love them. And I love that show. And I'm very proud of the work that we've done. We've grown so much. And like, what's crazier is I run the show off a laptop. We don't have no real equipment. The last couple of shows we did, like when we did the show at the Aretha, and then when we did the show with Tommy, and then we had somebody come in. But other than that, I was literally running this off of 3 laptops. Okay. I set up a monitor so they could see themselves. One of the laptops was the main laptop that y'all see, the picture on. And then the other laptop was where I was running the show. I'm literally with director, producer, TD, PA, all of that in one. Wow. Because it's just, and then my 3 hosts. So
is that how you ran when you guys were at the auto show too? Is that how you did it?
Well, we had a camera at the auto show.
Okay.
But still the same concept.
I was gonna say, but still 3 laptops, and y'all that don't, I work as a technician at a TV station. So listen to that is crazy. I can, like, my head hurts for her.
Like, when I was telling one of my friends, he's a sports producer. So he's won a couple of Emmys in his sports world. And he's finally getting back to producing. He took a little break, and I was telling him the same thing. Like, this is how I'm running the show. Anytime I tell people who work in TV, like, how I'm actually running the show, they're like, wow. I'm like, yeah. It just proved, like, and this show really proved to me how good I was. I have never doubted my skills as a producer. That's also, hold on. Sorry, y'all, you're gonna have to edit that. Yeah. Okay, talking about you about to leave. And again, talking about leading to your purpose. Like I said, I've never doubted my skills as a producer. Yeah, I had moments where I was like, I'm about to walk away, but that was just from irritation. Like, I have never once said, like, hey, am I a good producer? Am I good at what I do? Like, it literally just flows so easily. And I'm like, imagine what I could do if I had real equipment. Imagine what I could do when I have a real budget, right? We've done some great work on that show with literally little to nothing. Like, so.
See, and that is, I think it speaks to you know how good you are, but it's also like when those tests come, because when you don't have a budget, like like I said, working in TV, especially as a technician, when you don't have a budget, when you don't have equipment, and then you have these producers or your talent that have these big ideas, and it's like, do you got that big money? Do you got that big camera? Do you got that big equipment? Because you're asking for a lot with a laptop. Yes, I was like, and manpower too. I don't know how many. When you don't have the manpower to do certain things, and so to believe in your vision that much. What I'm learning too is that when you have a purpose, it aligns. So even though you didn't have the equipment, you had talented people who were willing to go through the hustle, which so everything aligns. So that's what I hear is like when your purpose is aligned, everything else will follow suit. And so you believed in your show, and look at it now. I mean, people are definitely buzzing about this new show with the Michigan Crime. It's buzzing. It's growing. It's definitely, you can tell that, you're starting to see like, okay, I had the seed and now I got to make it grow. And now everybody else is starting to see, the fruits of your labor. So I love that for you, Ray.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Miss Producer Bae, she always, listen, let me tell you something about Rachel. Rachel is probably one of the most, she's super hardworking, and and Rachel, she's not a hater. A lot of people in our industry, they like to keep knowledge to themselves.
Thank you for saying that. I am not a hater. Like, why do people be hating?
but Ray, especially I hate it, especially with women. Like, I think you see it more with when you're trying to be on the talent side. But I do feel like a lot of people don't like to share the wealth. They don't want to share their network. They don't want to share the knowledge. They don't want to help you. And Rachel is so the opposite of that. Anytime I call her, I'm like, I'm frustrated with my job, or I'm frustrated with the show, or whatever I got going on. Rachel is always there. She's always helping. She's always spreading knowledge. She's always being encouraging. And it's hard to find that, authenticity, genuine, genuineness in our industry. So she's been such a mentor, a friend, a sister. So I just definitely want to take this time to give you your flowers, because we see you out here, and I think it's important for you to know that other people see you too. It's not an inward thing. So we love you, Producer Bae.
Yes,
so much.
That's so part of my too, is to shift the culture and what TV looks like, and has not been easy at all. And but when I did the Dave Chappelle thing, so this was 2 years ago, almost to the date. Working with Stan Lathan changed my life. When I tell you, this man was so aware of his staff, and it was 50 of us, okay? But he knew all of our names. He talked to us. He was kind. Let's be clear, we knew who the boss was, and when he spoke, we listened. But that just shifted my whole mindset. There's no reason why we have to communicate with each other like that. There's no reason for us to be gatekeeping. Again, another part of my mission. I'm here to open up the floodgate. Oh yeah, I'm putting people on. I'm training. I'm making sure people are placed on properly on sets, that people know how to advocate for themselves. I went through all of that, so other people don't have to, for real, because it doesn't have to be like that. But people only emulate what they see, right? And that's always been the culture of TV, that everybody's mean, everybody cussing you out, and everybody's bitchy and all this other kind of stuff. And it's no, you don't have to do that, even at whatever level of success. And I've had friends a friend of mine has worked with Beyonce. He's on her album. He was in some other stuff, and well, that was a
look. I just passed out,
but no, for real.
Layy, are you still here? You still with us?
You won't break my soul.
A couple of other people have worked with her, and they talk about how genuine she is, and how, of course, yes, she about her business and all of that. She takes everything serious, but just because you get to this level, and then especially running around here in Detroit, y'all ain't even on no level for real. So I don't even know why y'all act in the way that y'all act. But again, you're only emulating what you see, what you think and people think that being rude and all that is power, right? And it's just not. It's just something that we can do. So I'm here to definitely change the game on that one.
And I think you're doing just that. And I think that speaks volume too, because I feel like you can feel, I'm going to be a part of the Beehive for a second. I feel like you can feel Beyonce's genuine, her energy, just with how she is on stage, and how she, in her documentary, she's vulnerable. And you never really hear anybody say anything bad about her as a boss. You know what I mean? Like, you might not like her music, you might not like her performance, whatever the case may be, her art, her artistry, but people who actually work for her, they all really love her, and a lot of her staff have been with her for forever. So that speaks a lot of volumes. And I think right with you, like the community that you're building around you, people are sticking with you. But even when we met, you were like, I'm looking for women that are hardworking, that really do this in real life. Like, that's really like, that's serious. She's like, I will take you with me, but I got to know that you really are, you are committed. So as long as you are serious, and let me tell you something about Rachel. I worked with her. She was a production manager on this movie, and she
crazy ass movie. I'm gonna say it was crazy. Okay, it was Tyler. That movie was. Oh, we worked, and it was crazy.
I'm gonna have to find out what movie it is because now I want to watch it.
Child, it ain't even out yet.
It ain't even out yet. Well,
it's not even 2 years later.
It's been 2 years. Shoot, yeah. 2 around this time is when we were shooting. 2 years.
Dave Chappelle. I did the Dave Chappelle thing like 2 weeks before that.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, that was Ray was the boss. And was that your first production manager position?
Mm-hmm. So what's crazy is I was a production assistant for a long time. I think my first PA job was in 2015. Yeah, 2014, 2015. Because y'all know it took me forever in a day to graduate. I just graduated in 2020 for y'all out there. So keep going, never give up, and don't let nobody talk you out of finishing what you started. But I was like, it's time to graduate because I'm in class with like 19-year-olds and I just can't take this seriously right now. But so I PA for a long time, and then how I got the Dave Chappelle thing was somebody connected me to a producer out in LA, a friend of mine who's from here, and he was like, hey, this guy need a PA for a show, and it was for his own show. Literally, all I did was get PPE. I was picking up masks and gloves and dropping them off at people's house. That was my only job. And then he hired me 2 more times to do the same thing. And so when the Dave Chappelle thing came around, he called me and he was like, I got a project for you. I'm going to step your game up. I'm not going to tell you who it's for. You got to speak to somebody else. But if you want it, then it's yours. So I had the interview with the person. They called me back. I never told nobody this one either. I'm giving y'all all the gems. So if you work in production, like spreadsheets are a big thing, right? And we were like responsible for travel and all this other kind of stuff for the show. So he was like, you got to send me a fire spreadsheet because that's how I'm going to determine if you get the job or not. So I'm like, where my smart friends at? Call one of my best friends. I'm like, look, whatever I got to give you, let me know. But I need a spreadsheet in like an hour. And I need it to look like this and to look like that. So she was like, all right, girl. She literally created it in 10 minutes. Sent it over to him. I got the job. Still didn't know who it was for. I called my team. I'm like, listen, I need to hire some PAs. I need to hire security. Are y'all down? Yes or no? And everybody was like, yeah, cool. And then like the day before, we all found out it was for Dave Chappelle. We were like, dang, we about to do something fire. But I knew that those people, like you said, I knew that they trusted me and I trusted them. So no matter what we was going to do, we all had a learning curve. I had never been a production coordinator. I was a coordinator for that. I had never coordinated. Again, I never planned on being a producer. But all the skills that I've had, all the jobs, I've worked so many jobs. Oh my God, it's ridiculous. But it was preparing me for this moment, for these moments. And so after we did the Dave Chappelle thing, I gave all my people another promotion because I hired the same exact people to do the film.
Except for
that was not my fault.
But I will let
you tell y'all the story. We're gonna tell you that story after. So I went from a PA to a coordinator to a production manager to a producer in like 6 months. Wow. Like it literally happened that fast. I spent 6-7 years PAing and it was like, oh, now you're a coordinator. Then 2 weeks later, you're a manager. And then it's like, oh, now I'm producing the show.
Wow.
That fast. Yeah.
That again, that goes back to that purpose.
Yeah. I don't want to manage any more projects that aren't mine. I will say that. Production management, not for me.
Rachel will cut everybody out. I'm just gonna be
no. After because how many days did we shoot? Like 10?
About 10, 11,
10,
yeah.
12 something. After like day 4, I was literally, our base camp was a loft. I literally was spending the night. I was up for the first 3 days. I remember when I called my mentor and I said, I have a chance to be a production manager. I know I have a learning curve, right? I'm cool with that. He like, I can help you through that. I can send you stuff. I said, should I take it? He was like, are you prepared to work 20-hour days? He started with 20. I was up literally for the first 3 days of production. Day 4, I was like, everybody, I'm going home. Nobody call me unless something blows up. And if it does, call 911 because I can't help it.
Because just today is not the day.
I was cussing everybody out.
But you know what? In Rachel's defense, I do feel like for that particular project, I think people were bothering her with things that other people should have been handling. So she was like, she wasn't necessarily PAing, but people were just, you know, when you're the production manager of something, like there's so many other people that should be taught to be able to handle things before they even get to her or to the production manager. And I think people were skipping a lot of levels and was, you know, calling Ray for like a lot of things. So everybody was getting cussed out.
But I needed that. Like we always, when things don't work out how we feel they should work out, we miss a lesson. I needed that. It taught me like exactly how I know I want stuff to run, how to set boundaries. And Gingy, another one of my mentor, I met my second mentor on that. She watched me for 5-6 days, like struggle and this and that. And she called me at the end of the 5th day and was like, come to my room, let's have a talk. So I went to go see her, and both my mentors are people of very few words. They're so funny. Like Kylie is my first mentor, and then Gingy. And she was like, you're being reactionary. You don't need to react to every single thing. You need to lead. And that's it. And that's all she said. And it literally clicked. I'm like, got you. And then that just shifted how set was for those last couple of days. It still was crazy, but just because the project was just nuts.
Yeah,
but that project taught me so much about myself, and I always go back to that, like, oh yeah, we want that one again. It's certain stuff that again I just needed to in my leadership style and like how I produce and certain again, and that was kind of the switch too of like, no, I just don't need to be doing projects just because
it was a leg up for you. That makes sense though. See, but she wouldn't have had to deal with all that had I kept my original. But we just gone. I'm not going to ever let you live that down.
Rach, so with the industry, and I know you talked a little bit about like, you know, how nowadays, you know, you have reporters that are doing it all like yourself. You know, people are producing, editing, shooting from an iPhone, taking out their own camera to establish live shots. What advice would you give to people? Because I know it's easy, like you said, we all have our days where like we're like, this is it. This ain't meant to be. I'm done. You know, post a little thing on social media. Like, it's it for me. It's been real, y'all.
Every other day. Don't worry.
So we know Producer Bae isn't going anywhere. But I ain't gonna lie. When I saw your post, I think it just made me realize, like, damn, we all have those days. And if Ray is out here doing it, like, so can anybody else. What advice would you give to people out there just that want to break into the industry or maybe currently in the industry but not sure what exactly is next for them or how they can better find their purpose?
Again, you have to be paying attention, right? I found earlier in my career, I found myself being irritated about opportunities that I didn't even want, right? And it wasn't necessarily like, oh, I'm mad this person is being successful. It was like, why didn't I get this? And it's like, I don't even want that. I don't even care about that interview. I don't care about that job. I don't do whatever. So once you get into your groove, and first I would say, try everything. I would say, try everything. People always, oh, I just want to direct. I want to produce. But how you going to run a show when you ain't never even, you know what I'm saying? You don't know how to wrap a cable. Not saying that you need to be doing that forever. I feel so blessed that I literally started from the bottom because now I know. And that's why I advocate for crew. They're so important. I don't care how good Denzel is. I don't care how good of a host you are. If your crew not there, ain't no show. And we need to flip that switch as well. Like my crew, is so important to me. And I make sure when people work with me that they know that, right? So also building a team, I think that's super important. But have conversations with people. Like anytime I first start working with somebody, I have a get to know you conversation. I want to know what your goals are. I want to know what you're trying to do. I want to know what that looks like because I need to see if that aligns with what I have going on. We all got ideas. We all can create. We can all do that. But I need it to make sense. And I need you to believe just as much as I do. You know, I'm like a little ghetto preacher. Everybody know I'm good for a little speech. And right now I'm on my Deion Sanders. Like, do you believe? Because I believe in everything I touch turns into gold. Everything I touch is going to be fire, even if I just thought about it. Even if I just gave somebody else an idea, like, oh yeah, go ahead and do that. I give ideas away all day long because why are we keeping it? We can't keep it inside. So building a team, I think that's super important. But the people got to be just as passionate as you. Like everybody that know me, that come across me, they know I'm serious about my shit for real. And I'm going to be serious. If I'm in it, I'm in it. But everybody not like that. And so I've learned to take people for where they at. Like some people you still might meet along the way who don't necessarily match up with your personality type. Okay, that's also another thing. Stop thinking you gotta like people to work with them. Because that's not realistic. Now your core group of people, you know, your people you getting it out the mud with, yeah, because y'all the relationship just gonna be different. Right. But like, what? I don't like a lot of people I work with. Now, I ain't talking about my crew, my babies, but I'm saying jobs that I've had, like, wow, I've experienced so much crazy stuff on set, all of that. But some of them people, they still in my Rolodex, like, hey.
Wait a minute. Ray, do you remember? I don't even know if you remember this because you taught me that when we were on that movie set, there's a particular person that had rubbed me the wrong way. And if you know me, I'm not easily rubbed the wrong way to the point where I'll be like, oh, you said that? Okay. But it's very rare that I'm like, stay away from me. Like, I don't want nothing to do with you. Like, I'm very rare with that, right? So, Ray, I was PAing for her. And she was like, I need you to pick up this person and take them there. And I was like, no. I was like, she is not getting in my car. I do absolutely not. I'm going to have to wash my car in holy oil. Like, absolutely not. She's not in my car. And Ray was like, girl, she started laughing, but she was like, girl, we will stage your car. We will pray. We will do whatever, but you going to get her. Like, I was like, okay. And so, but that quick lesson was like, just getting, you know what I'm saying? If it's something that's completely out of line, crazy, that's a whole different conversation, which I dealt with on that movie set too. But if it's something small, like, or just you gotta like you were saying, like, you don't gotta like her, you don't gotta like him. If they're good at what they do, and this particular person was good at what she did, she was great. Mm-hmm. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. So she don't
right. Just remembering that, like, and you gotta know who you are. That would probably be one of my biggest things. I tell people every time, you gotta know who you are before you step in this industry. I know who I am. I'm very clear about who I am. I'm very clear about what I will and will not do. I come in hot wherever I go. There's not going to be any question about who Rachel is. Wherever I go, everybody knows. Yeah, you're going to know me because you're going to know me right away because I come very clear about my personality, about how you're going to talk to me. And now I've learned to do it in a very nice way. Like, I just come in very powerful, not bitchy, not mean. Like, I had to learn to maneuver through that space. A lot of sets that I work on outside of my own, or where me and my friends have created something, I'm like one-on-one, maybe the only woman, the only Black person. I work with this group of white boys. I love them. But when we work together, it's me. I'm one of one. I'm the only Black person and the only woman, right? And men talk different. The different races speak different. So even learning, like, oh, I can't take this personal. And again, it's levels, right? You'll know. But when I stopped taking stuff personal, half the stuff didn't even resonate to me. Like, I didn't even realize, like, oh, maybe he being shady, or maybe this is what's going on, or it just didn't bother me. Like, on to the next thing. Like, you cannot take stuff personal. Okay. You have to know everything. That is true. But I think that's why building a team is so important, because what I preach now is all I need is everybody to do their job. I produce, you host. I don't need you to do both. Like, obviously, you know, when you're doing a show, we kind of intermingling, but if everybody can just do their job, we can't lose.
Do your job and do it well.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it work. Rachel Ray, we love you so much.
Yes. And I just want to also piggyback on Layy, giving you your flowers because, like, you know, just and being able to see you out here doing the damn thing. And I feel like there's so much room for everybody out here. Like, there's enough room for everybody to be able to chase their bag and live their dreams and serve their purpose. And like you said, you don't have to be an asshole. But I am so grateful that, you know, we have come across each other's paths and introducing me to Layy. I remember when Rachel hit me up and was like, I got this girl in Ohio. And I'm like, I've been looking for a co-host because I went through a variety of different people that were trying to find the mesh, and it just wasn't working because I found out that there's not a lot of people that are as passionate or, you know, really in it like I am. And, you know, you introducing Layy to me has been nothing but, you know, positivity, and we're on the same page. And then Lay's strength, she when we're in business meetings and Tyler wants to be like, you know, everybody be happy, everybody be cool, but sometimes you have to be direct. And I look at Layy and be like, go ahead, it's all yours. The floor is yours.
Lacey don't be playing. I thought I was like, when I met her, I said, oh, look at my soul twin.
She will get you together. We had a board of people, and I was like, I'm gonna let Layy go ahead. Here's the keynote presentation that I made. Layy, the floor is yours.
I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah. So it's been, people also ask me all the time. They're like, do you and Layy ever disagree? Do you guys ever argue? I'm like, we have different opinions on certain things, but like that's what makes it like nobody wants to watch a show where we're always like this.
Right.
But like as far as arguments or beef, nah, like we're on the same page. We know where we're headed next. We know what we got to work on. And, you know, even we can hit up Rachel and be like, we need some feedback. And Rachel will tell us. She will be, look, y'all did this. Y'all need to work on this, this, and this. But I appreciate you so much. And finally getting to actually introduce to the takers who made this all possible. Like, this would not be a thing without you. So I like.
Y'all don't make me cry. And I don't even be
family.
We love you. We love you so much. So much.
This will be my last thing too. Like, don't let nobody talk you out of your creativity. One thing, like, people always ask me about me and Randy because we both have very strong personalities. We are both very short, right? And I'm like, no, Randy is really the best because we just flow. Like, I'll be like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. And she's like, girl, I don't like that. Okay, cool. So that's not for you, right? Or and vice versa, right? So being able to like not get discouraged because somebody doesn't see what you see is also very important. Like, every project's not for everybody. Every vision is not for everybody. So we can't just let, especially people who don't even work in the industry, like, stop asking everybody. Stop asking permission. That's also the other thing. Stop asking and start doing. I don't ask nobody for nothing. Like, it's okay. You ain't got to think it's a good idea. I'm about to try it anyway, and then we going to see what happens.
Not being afraid to fail, to fall, really.
Failure is made up. That's something that we do to measure things. I ain't never failed. That's how I feel. I really feel like that. I've never failed. Even with how people might view it in that way, but I've never failed. If I've executed something, I've never failed. If you want to think something is failure, it's not doing what you said you was going to do.
But always taking a lesson out of it, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, like, oh, next time I do it like this, right? Or maybe I rushed, or maybe I did whatever, but I don't ever feel like I failed. And I think that's something that's been able to sustain me too. Like, you know, projects, I thought it was going to be this or be that, but like, oh, it's okay. On to the next.
Ray has a way of like, she'll check you, she'll encourage you, and then you get off the phone, you don't even know how, you be like, I want to cry, but I feel like I want to do it again. Like, I want to, like, Ray will be like, well, girl, you shouldn't have did that, but that's okay because you did it. So
what we gonna do?
Don't do it like that. And then you be like, okay, all right, I can do this. Ray can speak life into anybody. She really is gifted, and we love her so much. Like, producer, you know, That's the heart of our Ty and Lay's take today. So we're gonna let you get out of here because we kept you and we appreciate you. We finally booked her.
Finally. We still need a promo video though.
Okay, thank y'all so much, and I'm so proud of y'all, and I can't wait to see what y'all gonna do next. And then hopefully y'all let me produce y'all next show or something.
Oh, you already know you on the list. Don't worry about that.
Already booked. Contracts written.
That's right. All right, we love you.
Out. Love y'all.
Love you too.
Bye.
Layy.
We finally got her. That just,
finally. She's finally on.
We finally got the person that put us together on the show. We love Ray so much. She really is. We were not just saying those things. She's been such a mentor, such a backbone, encouragement, critiques. Anytime, even when we have disagreements on how we should do the show, where we should take the show, how we want to work the show, we like, okay, we know who we need to call.
So I can guarantee you she just dropped out the studio and she is already got her mind going on how this interview went.
Yeah, she's already like this.
We already got a conference scheduled after we leave.
But that's what you need, right? You need somebody that she holds us accountable. I think that's what she holds us accountable, and she really wants to see us win. So we take her advice to heart because we know it's coming from a good place.
And I think, to have somebody that is fueling you. We're in the industry together, and it's so easy to be spiteful or to be jealous that somebody booked this or somebody got that role or got that position. But if you're living every day and working towards your dreams and goals and having that solid, we talk about building your village and having certain people in your life to play certain roles. And all the emotions, I'm surprised I haven't cried yet because y'all know I'm a cry baby. And this would be the second episode that we cry on. So
I know we're doing good. We're not gonna cry, not today.
We're doing good, but I think it's the end of the show. I am so filled with so many different emotions. I don't have any Tyspiration for real for you all, so don't even throw the banner up.
Okay.
I think
that was all the motivation we needed.
Now. I think Rachel said it best. I'm at a loss of words. But I think I'll just leave y'all with, kind of what we talked about. Not just getting the bag to get the bag, but doing things that you love to do. It's so easy to say yes. Don't be a say yes person if it's going to come back and haunt you later down the road. Don't be a person that's like, yeah, I'll do that. Or, don't, it's okay to say no and be selective. If you're tired, don't go out to dinner with your friends. Don't hit the club party. And it's okay to say no. Saying yes to everything does not make it beneficial or make the outcome be better for you. I think now is the time, especially as we're it's about to be a new year, new mindset. I think finishing this year strong, not saying yes to everything, and being real selective of how you spend your time, because that's what's going to matter at the end. If you burn the candle till there is no candle, you're going to run out. And take time to just be present in the moment. Be in the now and not be in what's next.
I agree, Ty. I think that was perfectly said. I think, like you said, chase your purpose. I think we talked about especially in a space with our show, we're finding our purpose. Where do we want our show to go? Where do we see it? Where do we see ourselves in the next 5 years? And just don't chase the bag, chase the purpose. Don't go be a doctor because you think you're going to make a bunch of money.
Because mommy and daddy told you that that's what you need to be.
Or do it because it's really in your heart. Because, not to get spiritual, but I will say the Bible says that your gifts will make room for you. Meaning that whatever you're gifted in, you're talented in, you will find a space to where you can feed your family, where you can be enjoyable, have that work-life balance, because you might just be good at cutting grass. Next thing you know, you are cutting grass at the White House and everywhere else because you're just that good. You be the landscaper of the year because you just operated in your gift, right? So your gift could be something small that you don't even realize is your gift. So that's why you have to know your purpose. So I love that. Ray's our baby. I feel so inspired. I'm about to get off here and do some more work. I'm about to go grind because Rachel just spoke life into us.
I know. I am so ready. We hope you all have a amazing weekend. Once again, thank you to Producer Bae. We need to get. I need a Producer Bae hoodie.
Yes.
And Layy, I want to see you rock those glasses.
Her glasses were so cute. We were so caught up. I didn't even get to tell her, Ray, them glasses, I need them. You already know what time it is.
And then, of course, be sure to follow us on all social media platforms. Where we at, Layy?
At Ty and Lay's Take Today.
All right. And then also we'll have some events happening this weekend in and around Metro Detroit. tyandlaystake.com. All the stories, all the behind the scenes. Layy, have a great weekend. I promise y'all all the footage in our next episode from the conference in Chicago. Looking forward to taking us to the next level. So we'll have videos and photos and a recap on our next episode. Be safe, be healthy, live, love, purpose. That's all I got for y'all.